Welcome to Echoes Untold, where history whispers, and we listen. If you're passionate about uncovering stories that shaped our world, stories of courage, tragedy, and resilience, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. It helps us bring forgotten voices back to life. Today we turn to Afghanistan, the year 2020, when the halls of higher learning became a battlefield. This is the story of the Kabul University Attack, where 22 lives were taken, and a generation's hope for peace was tested once again. It was a bright Monday morning, November 2nd, 2020. For many, it was just another day, another class, another chance to chase dreams despite decades of unrest. Kabul University, one of the oldest and most prestigious in the country, stood as a symbol of education's power in the face of war. But just after 11 a.m., that symbol of hope became the site of horror. Three gunmen stormed the university gates, armed with assault rifles and grenades. Their targets weren't soldiers or politicians. They were students, professors, and anyone in sight. Witnesses later recalled hearing the attackers shouting as they moved through the classrooms, firing indiscriminately. Some students barricaded themselves behind desks and bookshelves. Others leapt from windows in desperation. Security forces rushed to the scene, sparking a 6-hour firefight that turned classrooms into combat zones. By the time it was over, 22 innocent people were dead, and more than 20 others injured. When the shooting stopped, Kabul fell silent. Images from the aftermath showed blood-stained textbooks, shattered glass, and shoes scattered in the courtyard, haunting reminders of young lives cut short. One survivor described how she played dead for nearly 2 hours as gunmen walked past.
Another student said, "We came here to learn, not to die."
The attack sent shockwaves through Afghanistan and the international community. At first, confusion surrounded who was behind the attack. The Taliban, often blamed for such violence, denied any involvement. Soon after, the Islamic State's Khorasan branch, ISIS-K, claimed responsibility. Their message was chilling. They targeted what they called apostates and infidels within Kabul University. Analysts believe the attack was designed to strike at the heart of Afghanistan's future, its educated youth. It wasn't just an act of terror. It was a message meant to silence progress. The Kabul University attack didn't happen in isolation. In the years leading up to it, Afghanistan had faced a surge in extremist violence against educational institutions. In October 2020, just weeks earlier, a suicide bombing at an education center in Kabul killed 24 students. It was part of a brutal pattern, targeting those who dared to dream of a better future. For many Afghans, the attack at Kabul University represented something deeper: the struggle between knowledge and ignorance, between progress and fear. Among the 22 killed were law students, young writers, and professors, people who believed education could rebuild their nation. Families gathered outside hospitals, hoping for good news that never came. Social media filled with tributes, photos of smiling students in graduation gowns, now gone forever. They carried pens, not guns. They wanted to change Afghanistan. They became its martyrs instead. Every year since the attack, Afghan students and teachers have held memorials, both in Kabul and abroad. They light candles, recite poems, and remember the fallen as symbols of resilience. Despite everything, classes resumed at Kabul University within days, because even in the darkest moments, the pursuit of knowledge refused to die. The Kabul University attack reminds us that education remains one of the most powerful tools against extremism, and one of its greatest targets. It's a story of pain, yes, but also of defiance. Every student who returns to the classroom, every teacher who continues to teach, becomes part of a quiet revolution against fear. In the end, those 22 lives did not vanish into silence. They became echoes that still remind us: freedom and knowledge are worth fighting for. Thank you for listening to this episode of Echoes Untold. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It helps us keep history's whispers alive. And remember, this is Echoes Untold, where history whispers, and we listen. All details in this episode have been fact-checked using reputable international sources, including BBC News, Al Jazeera, Reuters, and Human Rights Watch reports from November 2020. While every effort has been made to ensure accuracy, minor discrepancies in reported numbers and timelines may exist across sources.